Yeah, I think we have a unique opportunity um, where going into the safety, that people feel safe in an environment where they know what's expected of them. Because I see in the newer generation, unless they are told, hey, this is the way you're supposed to do it, they want to know, how am I supposed to do this? Because they're really adverse to failure. Psychologically, they're really adverse to failure. So in a case of where I see a big failure is that owners don't have any SOPs, they're winging everything. There's no structure at all. That's the other, that's my end of the spectrum that I deal with, where if you had the structure and they are expecting that, then a lot of their safety and feeling comfortable in that environment is where everything is clear. There's no ambiguity. There's no like, well, you didn't tell me. Nobody ever told me. It's all, but then we have that mentality. Well, dang, do we have to tell you? Like when we were discussing, do I literally have to show somebody how to clean a van? Yes. to this is how you throw the trash out daily. You pick up your vehicle, you leave everything in its place, and this is what's expected of you, so that there is, oh, okay, so when you didn't do something, it's more of a, hey, let's see how we can do this better. You did a good job. Let's see how we can do this better. Here's what I meant to say that I probably wasn't clear on. And then I think that a lot of that security and a lot of them feeling that they're part of something is that they have to be led by the hand and everything has to be in its place. And I think that's where we're really failing, especially as small companies that are learning to grow. Because, we go from the 2 to 3, then we go to the chaos where we're growing 50% a year. And then forget SOPs, just throw that guy in a truck, we
Yeah,
need
well,
to
frankly,
just
when you think about it, how did
try something.
how do Gen Zs learn anything? They look it up on YouTube or Google.
Yeah.
Right. They want to see a YouTube video on teaching them how, right? Which that's not a bad thing. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
So I've seen
Yeah.
a
I mean,
lot.
onboarding, if you don't have an onboarding platform for have video
How to
training,
clean the van.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
it's going to be very difficult. And this is where I'm going with this, where I've been passionate about this, to get companies to put everything on tape. But again, it requires an enormous amount of effort and commitment. I know these things. So it's, dang, I'm answering the phones. I'm dealing with customers. I have to hire this guy. A truck just broke down, this happened. And the last thing I have time for in my 60, 70-hour day is to now record a video and look like I'm happy doing it.
However, you really need to be able to provide your teams with visual, auditory, kinesthetic ways, because we're all different learners.
Yeah.
And if you're not being flexible and adjustable to the different learning styles, you're failing your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a 1-page in so we've got an onboarding packet that talks about policies. They've got places to initial and sign. And it goes all the way down to their basic training tests. We got like 10 or 12 tests that they take. It's got some standard operating procedures. It's got some client education sheets. But like when it comes to the truck, we'll stick to your example there. We have 1 page on how to prepare your truck. Okay. Do we have a video? Nope. But when we give them the truck, here's what your truck should look like. Here it is. Now we get it during the day. It's going to get a little bumped up and bruised, but if you take 5 minutes a day and recover it to this point, there you go. That's the end of that.
Yeah.
Forget about having to make a video. You just give them a truck that's ready to go. This is how I expect you to keep your truck. Okay. And we talked about this in our last time together. I don't really care if the tires are armor rolled and the dash is armor rolled.
Right.
I don't care if there's mud on the mud flaps, because we're out there in the dirty world. What I do care about is they have all their equipment. All their equipment runs. It's not leaking. There's batteries. There's batteries in the flashlight. They've got their PPE. All their chemical stuff is stored upright and labeled. Doesn't tip over when they drive. And everything is locked and secured. That's objective. Okay. During the day, a truck can get dirty. They can get a McDonald's wrapper or Starbucks cup in the cabin. I'm not going to dock them for that, because that really doesn't matter. Right. We're not in garrison. In the Marines is, you have garrison guys that are all spit and shine and all that crap. And then you have the guys that come in all salty from the field and everything's just got holes in it. It's tore up and shredded. And guess who was on the mission? The guys with the tore up, shredded stuff. So, but you know what? if you're in the field, your rifle still better work. You still better have ammunition. You better have water and food and your first aid kit. So you never take away those. That's the irreducible minimum. So just to follow on your general example.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a point in time of formality on certain things, but a lot of it's demonstrated. It's demonstrative. It's watch what we do and do this. I call it the mother duck. Little baby ducks learn how to act like ducks because they just follow their mom around. Oh, I can swim. Cool. I can fly. Look at that. Oh, I can do this, or I'm going to follow her and stuff like that. I'm safe under her wings. And so we have to have that mentality too in development and decide, okay, well, you know, where do we get super detailed and where do we get generally detailed and stuff? And so we'll be talking about some of that stuff as we go.
Yeah, I think
It's preferential again, and there's nothing wrong with a video. We find it's not required for us, but what is required is, again, giving them a truck that's organized with everything they need. And we do inspections monthly and make sure, hey, Bobby's truck looks the way it's supposed to. And then we give gentle correction, because again, it's not a deal breaker if something's a little askew, but let them know, no, this is not right. Do it this way.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah, I think the management and the leadership, that's where I see the failure sometime, where I'll walk into a company and all of a sudden it's like, have you seen the side, the inside of that truck? It looked like something went off in there and evolution is trying to take place, and eventually it will find its place back, but it's not right now. And they're like, and the manager will go pull this, when was the last time this truck was inspected? And it's been never. The employee worked for the company for a year. Nobody had time to inspect that vehicle. He was left on his own device.
Yep.
And I think that's the opposite end of, I think that spectrum, but